Hello, hello, hello. This is Richard with the Classic Gamers Guild. Rich Kale here on YouTube, Rich Gen X and other places. And it is time to return to Victorian London as we continue on the epic meeting of Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. Now, if you remember from the last installment, we had just gotten done reenacting the scene. And we now must figure out if it's what are the possible motives for the crime. So we have these various things to decide if it's yes, no, or not. Now let's see. Credible motive, even if it's a field that Sherlock doesn't know. So I'm going to have to say that must go with...
Black magic?
I'm not terribly interested in the occult or black magic. Let's give the benefit of the doubt to this motive.
So we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. So there's all sorts of things it could be. See, well, the horrible mutilations. Well, that could go with revenge. But I don't know. I don't think it would go with revenge.
Homicidal insanity, Holmes.
It is indubitable that the man who did this to Polly Nichols is not of his full senses.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's see. Well, if they lived in misery, I don't think theft is going to be an option.
Theft, perhaps.
I have a hard time believing that someone would attack poor Polly so fiercely just to rob her of a few coins.
Yeah. Well, if a prostitute, I don't think it was about love.
Love can certainly lead to many a drama, but we have to consider the fact that the victim didn't know her attacker.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. So resentment...
Revenge, Holmes?
Revenge could be a possible motive, but with one small reservation. We have reason to believe that the victim considered her murderer to be a typical client. Elementary.
Yeah, it makes
Very
sense.
well, Watson. I think that we've exhausted the topic. Take a rest and we'll speak again later.
Ah, it would seem that the investigation is advancing, Holmes. Yesterday's Star said that a suspect is in the hands of the police, a man with a rather sinister reputation.
I was about to join you in your optimistic outlook until you informed me that the good news came from the press, Watson.
But surely they wouldn't invent the fact that the police are holding a suspect, or the acts that are attributed to him.
You will have an exact answer to these two questions in less than 50 seconds, Watson.
Pardon?
Enter, Inspector.
Good day.
Dear Watson, allow me to introduce Inspector Aberline, Inspector Dr. Watson.
Inspector?
To what do we owe the honour of your presence, Inspector?
I heard that the two of you made your way to Whitechapel a few days ago. Your arrival, you are aware, coincides with a very serious affair which our police service is going to great lengths to solve and which is creating strong tension in the area.
Pardon me, but haven't you arrested someone? A certain leather apron?
Absolutely not. The man who identifies his name is indeed being actively searched for by the force. Besides, nothing at the moment suggests that he is the Bucksrow murderer.
There, you've been enlightened, Watson. Now it is our turn to answer Inspector Aberline's questions.
Indeed. I will be brief and precise. Do you intend to investigate this case, or have you already started?
It is to be of service, friend. I went to Whitechapel. We did, out of curiosity, familiarize ourselves with the preliminary report and made our way to the scene of the crime. Our conclusions are slim, as are the clues. Having been officially appointed by a client, I believe my intention in this business will end there.
Very well. To be frank, you take away my shoulder by distancing yourself from the case. Our image is very good, to say nothing of what the press was through. Thus, if in the night they found out that we were on the case, people would turn against us.
And they would hesitate overwhelming me, finding me out to be responsible for the inevitable failure such a scenario entails. Neither you or I wish for this to happen. I know time precious, Inspector. I will send you a note regarding my conclusions shortly.
With pleasure. Gentlemen?
Do you think that he will find the murderer?
Chances are slim to non-existent. It is 7 days now, short of a confession from the murderer herself.
And you will not go further?
You heard, Inspector Watson. My presence in Whitechapel would hinder, which doesn't mean that we will drop the case.
How is that?
The Inspector spoke of me, but not of us. It is you, Watson, who will lead the investigation tonight. It is you who will bring to the police station the little note that I will write regarding our conclusions. Despite the late hour, there is nothing to stop you from making inquiries about this famous leather apron while you are there.
So now we control Dr. Watson. Okay. If we look at our deductions and conclusions, well, we could fit. He's on the premises, was strangled. Nichols was dead before being stretched out and having her throat slit. Had her bonnet. Okay. The murderer cut open his throat. Oh, wait, where's this? Right or left-handed, so we don't know. Okay.
What? You still haven't left for Whitechapel, Watson?
Oh dear. Yeah, okay, notes. And those are notes. Okay. So now we have to go to Whitechapel. Do I need anything here? Don't I need something? Let's make sure I have everything newspaper. By the way, that wine that we saw earlier, that was actually from Arsène Lupin. The name on it was a alias that Lupin uses. So now we have to go to the police station.
Well, if I follow Holmes's instructions, then to begin my investigation into this leather apron, I must first head to the police station.
And it's nighttime. That'd be a pretty nice sky. Now, and we looked over the documents that said about leather apron. Used to live at the boarding house, it says. Okay. Let's go in here. Ah, there's our good man again.
Good evening, sir. What do you... I know you. You were here last week with Sherlock Holmes.
Yes. Yes, I was.
Indeed. I have come to bring a message from Sherlock Holmes for Inspector Aberline.
Very well, I will pass it on. But come to think of it, someone was asking about you recently. Finley, the caretaker of some shady boarding house nearby. Does that mean anything to you?
Ah, perhaps. Actually, I read in the Star that you have arrested a suspect called Leather Apron.
You shouldn't believe what you read in that rag, sir. The man is being hunted, but we have yet to get our hands on him, and we aren't close to it either.
Why ever not?
Bah, he's a specialist in the streetwalker racket. These girls make pitiful witnesses, and we don't inspire confidence. Furthermore, the man seems to be pretty discreet lately. Someone must be helping to hide him.
How to get on his trail, then?
One of these girls would have to confide in us and give a valid description of the man. Then we'd ask around the journeymen, who use aprons, I imagine.
Very good to know.
Well, goodbye. I must go to Finley's boarding house.
Yes, we must get to the boarding house. I wonder what the hell that is. And there we got old Bobby. Hello, Finley.
Good evening, Finley.
Oh, good evening, sir. Aren't you the gentleman who was with the great detective the other time?
That is indeed me, Dr. Watson.
Ah,
Tell me, Finley, I was told that you were looking for us at the police station.
Indeed, I wanted to thank you for last time, you know. That vagrant has never set foot round mine again. I even found a tenant, one who pays his rent, I mean.
wow.
You don't seem very happy, but you were lucky to have found a good tenant so quickly.
It's just that this man is very strange. He paid several days in advance and I gave him a key to the place. Since then, he goes out every night and returns at ungodly hours. I'm sure he goes to visit the ladies, but still, every night.
Yes, that is odd.
And when he moved in, something must have broken in his case and stank up the stairs in his room for 2 days. I think it was a jar. It must be over there.
Tell me, have you heard talk of Leather Apron?
By the papers, that's all. This man seems very sinister.
Do you know any journeymen who use this type of apron?
The slaughterhouse butchers, I believe, but definitely the cobblers. I know one, old Isaac Solomonovich. His workshop is on a small street in the Jewish community, across from the hospital. He's a good man. He can help you. But you know, the people there are very close and don't share much with non-Jews.
Well, I can imagine that.
Thank you, Finley.
Especially
At your
given the time.
service, sir.
Is something.
This odour is very strong indeed, but the whole neighbourhood as such has a dreadful stench. Finley might have an idea as to what this jar that contained.
Well, let's talk to
What
Finley
do you
again.
want, Doctor?
Let's see, what's the strange smell?
You're right, the pieces of the jar that your tenant broke do give off a strange smell.
It's true. That's quite normal given his trade.
Yes, and what would the trade be of your strange tenant?
A doctor, like yourself, I believe. Dr. Tumblety, a foreigner. Canadian, perhaps.
Dr. Tumblety. It might be interesting to know more about him.
Actually, if I remember some stuff I've heard about Jack the Ripper, Tumblety was one of the prime suspects for being the Ripper. Alright.
Thank you, Finley.
At your service, sir.
Now we need to find out some more information. There should be someone else who might know. Oh!
Oh, it's you. I'm coming. Dr. Watson, how are you?
Well, and yourself? And how's your uncle?
Oh, he sleeps a lot, but he doesn't seem to be suffering. Your medicine has worked wonders. Thank you again.
It was the least I could do.
Indeed.
I have come to see you about a certain leather apron. Have you heard of him?
Oh, yes, of course. Terrible things are said about that man.
Have you ever come across him?
Goodness gracious, no. But I know that he has threatened and taken many girls in my situation. I don't know what more I can say, but Bella would be able to tell you some.
Who's Bella?
Who is Bella?
Bella Pullman. She's the landlady of the place where I could take you there if you like.
Please do.
It's me. It's Lucy. This gentleman would like to speak to Bella. It's the doctor who helped me. I must leave to return to my uncle. Thanks again.
Must be a working girl. Okay.
Out of the way, I don't like the look of you.
Of course. Ah! The brothel. She looks quite cushy for the time.
If you'd be patient, Madam Bella will arrive in a moment.
Okay. You can be patient.
Good evening. I am Dr. Watson. It is young Lucy who told me to come see you.
Ah, so you're the Good Samaritan who saved her uncle without asking for anything in return. And now you've come to see me, no doubt, to explain that the poor little thing doesn't belong here, and you will see to her future. Well, if you expect me to let her leave with you...
It's not that, ma'am. You should know I am a married man.
And why should that matter?
This is a very true point. In that type of business.
I believe there has been a misunderstanding. The reason that Lucy sent me here is that you may be able to give me some information about Leather Apron.
Are you a doctor or a constable?
I am most certainly a doctor, but I am acting in this matter in a private capacity, and I would like to find this man.
Well, if you're able to rid us of him, I'll give you a week's worth of free passes. That man is a thorn in our sides. He spies on the girls in the streets and watches them inside the houses, spying through the windows. And as soon as they're finished with a client, he jumps on them without any warning and forces them to give him their money. I've never seen him, but one of my girls was attacked by this man, and she said that he wore a leather apron and carried a knife. And his face, oh, he has a horrible head, with rat's eyes and a deformed mouth. She even said that she knew his name, Pizer, or Pizer, I think. But I don't know where she can be found. Margie, Nutcracker, the girl I'm talking about, could tell you more, but I had to let her go last week.
Why did you let Margie go?
Yeah.
The poor girl caught a shameful sickness, and the symptoms have attacked her face, if you know what I mean. So I gave her notice, and a little bit to help her along. I don't know where she is now, but she'll certainly be getting treatment at the clinic if she's still in the neighbourhood.
Did you speak to the police?
What would they do? Who cares about the girls in the streets?
It is a shame, but they are citizens too. They should care about them.
Would you have received a visit from another doctor? A stranger by the name of Tumblety.
I'm just like you, Doctor. Sworn to secrecy in my profession. But as I've taken a fancy to you, I can tell you that this name is not unknown to me. And if you do me a little favour, it is possible I might remember something about him.
Ah, scratch my back, I scratch yours. What's the favor?
What kind of favour must I do for you?
You see that man over there? He's a rich artist, a painter, a regular client round here. Well, yesterday, he came and left his cane in the umbrella stand in the hall before going into one of the rooms. Well, when he returned to this room, the cane had disappeared. It's a cane with a massive silver knob. Must be worth a fortune. He threatened to call the police unless he got free services in my establishment for a year. I'll be forced to accept, unwillingly, of course, given the services that he's demanding, unless the cane is found.
Well, let's find out more.
Did you question the residents regarding the theft?
They didn't see anything, and there's not one of them that would risk stealing from a client here.
Who was in the room when your weasel of a client was in the chambers?
There were a few that came and went, but Mary could tell you better than I can, because she was the one at the counter yesterday.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem, my angel.
Well, this guy's up to something, I think. Let's talk to Mary, because,
What happened to this rug?
Oh, it's when we got a coal yesterday. I asked the young man to fill the pail. Came back to put it down, but his feet were covered in soot and he made a black print. Madam Bella said it was my fault and I got a shilling's penalty. I also have to clean the print and it's no picnic. He has immense feet, that boy.
I heard that there was a theft yesterday. Did you see anything?
No, and I was here the whole time.
Who delivers the coal?
It's never the same person. I've never seen that lad before.
Do you always keep an eye on the coat stand?
Oh, yes. Well, when the coal delivery came, a client came out of the chambers and stopped me from seeing the boy who brought the bucket of coal. You don't think he would have taken advantage?
I heard that there was a theft yesterday. Did you see anything?
No, and I was here the whole time.
okay.
Until next time, miss.
With pleasure, sir.
So we found out some information there. Nick Coleman. Let's talk to the gentleman here.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my dear man. I was led to believe that you're a doctor.
None of the residents of this establishment are among my patients, sir.
Oh, you're not here as a doctor, but as a man, then. I understand. This is my kind of place, too. It's in these houses in Whitechapel that you find the girls that are the most natural and definitely the most docile.
Your way of speaking about these women is not that of a gentleman, sir. I heard that you were the victim of a robbery here.
Oh, I'm not complaining. The loss of that walking stick will certainly bring me a very pleasant compensation.
What does your cane look like?
The stick is ebony, about 35 inches long. The round knob is made from chiseled silver with a ring around the middle of the same workmanship, just like the tip, for that matter. If you find it, don't tell a soul. Keep it for yourself. Got it?
Well,
goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, or until next time. And good evening.
yeah, he's not a very likable person. Let's see, I think this is the way out. Alright, well... that other girl's at the clinic, so let's go. Should be at the clinic, so let's go check the clinic out. Here we are at the clinic. Let's see if we can find anything out here at the clinic. At the clinic. Okay. Hello.
These footprints are the same as those found on the rug at the brothel.
Hello, Doctor.
Good evening, Doctor. My name is Dr. Watson. Pleased to meet you.
Good evening. I am Dr. Gibbons. Likewise.
Professional courtesy.
I have come to see you about one of your patients. Margie goes by the nickname Nutcracker, who gets her prescription from the clinic. She's a lady of the night and is afflicted with a venereal disease.
I know who you're talking about. Indeed, Margie has syphilis and is being treated with mercury.
Do you have her address?
No. And for your information, she left London for good 3 days ago. She felt threatened.
Margie felt threatened? But by whom?
I believe that Margie was particularly scared of a terrifying man who attacked her once.
Did she say the name Pizer or Pyther?
Unfortunately, she didn't give a name, but she described a man with shifty, rat-like eyes and a mouth twisted in a sinister grimace.
Did Margie have any idea where this man who terrified her so much might be found?
No, but she told me that another girl who'd been attacked like her had told her that this man worked in a cobbler's run by an old Israeli. Also, she saw him again last week, the night of the big fire. She told of going to see the fire like most everyone else in the area. While there, she recognised her attacker in the crowds gathered at the warehouses. There was no mistaking a face like that, she said. She kept an eye on the man the whole time the firemen were working in order to avoid him.
Wow.
Pardon me, Doctor, but who made the large black footprints there near the beds?
The brother of one of my patients. The poor thing had a leg amputated after colliding with a carriage.
Ouch.
We arranged to find her a prosthesis.
Prostheses are very expensive. How did this man pay?
He told me that one of his uncles gave him a walking stick with a chiselled silver knob. I agreed to accept this knob in exchange for a simple prosthesis with harness. But this object is of great value, and I could finance half a dozen other prostheses by selling it on Petticoat Lane.
Doctor, I have reason to believe that the silver knob that you possess is from a cane that was stolen by the man who brought it to you. And I believe I know to whom it belongs.
That's what I was worried about. The story of the uncle seemed a little strange. Nevertheless, you must have proof of what you claim. I will show you all of the knobs that we have here. If you find the knob that the young man gave me, I will believe you.
So be it, but something is bothering me. I will need a complete cane, not just a knob.
Don't worry, dear chap, build one. I can loan you some tools. Make use of the odds and ends in my cupboard. It'll help get rid of it.
Well, I shall try. I will have to remember the description that Sickert gave. Goodbye, Dr. Gibbons.
Until we meet again, my dear colleague.
All right. Syphilis. Okay. Alrighty. Ebony. See, is it the right cane? 35 inches long. Let's see. Matches up, maybe.
There, all done. Holmes couldn't have done better himself.
What can I do for you, my dear colleague?
I believe I found the knob from the stolen cane, which I succeeded in putting back together.
That's the one. And yet I cannot give it to you, Doctor. I will only return it to the police, and only if there is an official complaint against me.
No way can convince you to give me the cane.
Find me dozens solid adjustable harnesses for wooden leg prostheses, and it's yours, Doctor.
Ah.
Goodbye, Dr. Gibbons.
Until we meet again, my dear colleague.
Okay. We're going to leave the clinic, and then before we head on to the next step, since we didn't get the cane...
This interview with the doctor revealed an important fact. Leather Apron could not be the Bucksrow murderer. According to Margie, the villain passed most of the night of the crime at the fire. He could not have been at the scene of the murder at the moment it was committed. He is nonetheless a dangerous character.
Okay, and with that, we will call an end to our investigation for right now. And next time round, we will continue this, trying to figure out who our murderer is, or who our proper person is in this case. And we have to get that cane back, because I have a feeling that young man is going to cause that place a little bit of a problem. Anybody who gets free passes for a year, anywhere. And in a place like that, it is very easy, I guess, to abuse those free passes. So, until then, this is Rich Kale. Rich Kale here on YouTube, Richard of the Classic Gamers Guild, Rich Gen X elsewhere, inviting you to subscribe to the channel, especially if you've been enjoying these playthroughs and all that. I know sometimes I don't talk much during some of these, but the Sherlock Holmes story is very captivating. But please take a look at some of the other playthroughs I've been doing, and you might find something of interest. Take care, everyone.